let's take an example of cars to understand the genesis behind adoption and evolution of different business strategies at different times. Earlier, till the year 1942, cars were only available through exports from foreign countries. Between 1942 to 1980, there were only few car manufacturers in India. Hindustan Motors and Premier Automobiles were the leading car manufacturers during that time. Also, consumers were not much aware about various parameters on which they should buy a car, and had to buy what was being supplied to them. Thus, we had a supply-driven market economy, meaning what was being produced was getting sold at a cost and value determined by manufacturers. This led to manufacturing companies to adopt certain strategies and processes, as was appropriate at that point of time. However, later when access to national markets and globalization became possible, also the evolution and availability of various technologies lead to changes in market size and requirements. On the other hand, consumer became more aware and knowledgeable due to education and access to technologies. Also, large market size lead to more players coming in this space and hence increased competition. Now, the consumers had specific requirements and wanted specific type of car. Only those companies excelled who understood this change in behavior and demand of the new changing market. Let's take another example. At one point in time, consumers started liking the touchscreen features and wanted their phones to be operated in certain way. The feature phone manufacturing companies, who understood this change in consumer behavior early, changed their strategy to start producing such phones. The market size of the feature phones shrunk, while the market size for the touchscreen-based smartphones expanded. Those who failed to understand this, even being the market leader, could not sustain their business later in changing times. In both of the above example, the deployment and effective use of 4Ms also became critical for the success of an organization. In order to be relevant in now, the demand-driven economy, manufacturing companies continually keep adopting new strategies and processes. We thus understand now the central for success of product for a manufacturing company remains the market, the consumer, their changing behaviors, etc. Also, on the other hand, it is equally important that 4Ms which we discussed earlier are optimally deployed and utilized. Note: this thus becomes the basis for manufacturing companies to define their manufacturing strategies and processes. With this as background, let us now learn more about manufacturing strategy. Note: manufacturing strategy has increasingly been regarded as having an important contributor to enhance competitiveness. As we discussed earlier, there are three major reasons for manufacturing companies to adopt one or the other strategy, which is influenced by growing international manufacturing competitiveness, development of increased manufacturing technologies, increased consumer awareness and behavioral changes. We also have learned earlier that manufacturing process is supported by way of utilizing resources or assets like men, material, machine, and methods. You will appreciate that it takes time to put all these 4Ms together and make it work effectively for manufacturing a part or a product. Thus, any decision regarding any change in available resources should support a long-term view. Note: thus, manufacturing decisions have to support and be supported by other functions in order to support adequately the business strategy of the companies. To know more, sign up to www.lynxe.in.